Well, good evening and welcome to live softball action on a Tuesday night. James Harris here, and joining me is Lee Hull. Welcome, Lee.
Thank you, James. Cracker of a night, isn't it? Beautiful night.
Absolutely. We've got the Port Adelaide Magpies versus Sturt Falcons. The lady you see on screen is Emily Catuzzo. Lee, terrible news in the Port Adelaide camp.
Certainly was last week. Their normal catcher, Cara Tilton, has been doing a fine job, by the way, the last year and a half. Just did her ACL, so that was shocking thing. So Emily gets the opportunity. So we send our best wishes to you, Cara. I'm sure you'll be roundabout or watching somewhere.
Absolutely, Cara. Thinking of you. We'll touch on Cara in a moment, and that is Natasha Straps on the pitching plate for the Port Adelaide Magpies tonight. Now, Lee, Tash Straps has done it all as a state representative from under 16s, under 19s, under 23s and the Stars. Every time she wears the state tricolours, it brings out the best in her. She's got a new role for Port Adelaide tonight.
Pitching, because we do not see Johanna Grauer, who's obviously up in the Riverland. And does she want to come down Tuesday, Wednesday, and she's playing on Friday up on the Hills against the Hills team. That's the Premier League being played up there.
So no Grauer pitching tonight?
No. So it's going to be Tash, and that puts Megan Williams over to first. So interesting. The rest looks about the same, although Jess Nevis is out at centre field instead of left. And Amelia Dolphin is at left, and at right it's the other pitcher, Michaela Jankovic.
All right, well, as you can see, the players are just retreating from the diamond. There's a slight sun delay. It's that tricky time of year, Lee, where the sun, the angle of the sun can hit the diamond at a specific angle at a specific time of night. So we've got a couple of minutes where we're between action there. So we're actually going to take a short break. So if you are watching at home, don't go too far away. We'll be right back with the start of play.
Should be back by 8:10, according to the plate umpires, Mr. Damien McCauley.
Well, welcome back. You can see the sun is shining very brightly on Diamond 1 here at West Beach. Just a slight delay for the start of the game, so we'll get the defensive lineup going through their warm-ups again. That is shortstop Taylor Chillingworth, one of the stories of the season. And as you can see, she's wearing the sunglasses because the sun is just setting, Lee.
Just setting in the west, as it normally does, James, yes.
Once in a while.
Once in a while. Well, what about the left side of the diamond in the infield for Port Adelaide? Impressive, aren't they? Callaghan, Chillingworth, both contributing well this season. Got to play a lot there, and with that, even though you're young, comes the experience of playing, so you get more confident. Good luck to the girls.
They are 2 of 7 batters for Port Adelaide batting over 300. Callaghan 306, Chillingworth 378. 10 RBIs for Chillingworth as well. That is a story. Here we go. Tash Straps pitching for Port Adelaide to Emily Cattuso. And that was Chillingworth at shortstop that we mentioned. And leading off for Sturt Falcons is Ada Caruana.
And what a prize player she is for the Sturt Falcons, James. So consistent. That's why she's in the #1 spot. And that with the batting side they've got, you've got to be a really good player to play at 1. She can run, she can bunt, she can slap, she can hit long. She's got it all.
Well, she is one of the superstars of the competition. She takes a called strike. Ada Caruana, just a lazy 368 batting average with a 488 on-base percentage.
Batting lead-off. That's excellent, isn't it?
Pop up to the left side. Tough to read off the bat because of the sun, and misreading it's Amelia Dolphin, and Caruana will stand up at second. It is a welcome return to Amelia Dolphin. Has been out from injury for most of this season.
Yes, was it the sun? It looked like it was sun was in her eyes a bit. But
yeah, leading team's replay showed that like she was tracking it well, but then just missed it, and Caruana took full advantage of the error. Rachel Tonkin is the new hitter.
Danger already for the Magpie team, isn't it? With Ada at second, who can run like the wind.
Short game. It's her specialty, isn't it, Rachel Tonkin?
That's
why she's up the order for the Falcons. It's been a toughish year for a 200 batting average, but she's able to get the ball down. Sacrifice bunts are her area of specialty, and doesn't really strikes out as well, so generally gets the ball into play.
Yes, and I think from seeing Tash for a few years, as I have pitching, I think one of her best pitches is her changeup. It's an excellent pitch thrown with control. She'll need to go to that a few times in this game.
Well, goes up the middle on cue here. Rachel Tonkin, an RBI single as Caruana moved across to third on the pass ball, and then Tonkin took that off-speed pitch you were mentioning there, Lee, and drove it out to centre field for an RBI. So Sturt Falcons on the board with just 2 batters.
Now the big hitting comes. Tonkin, Sarah, Bellwhite, Maddie Cameron. No Millie Fidge tonight, I see, in the lineup. It's probably having a night off, I think.
Right, yeah, of course. I'm looking at the lineup, and we'll see it defensively. We see Sarah Tonkin's actually playing first base. So
yep. And I think from memory, I've never seen Sarah play at first base. Certainly not on an A-grade team.
Well, she's a catcher and a third base, so you know that she's got the good glove.
Yep.
And she can play a hot corner. Yeah, almost poked at that.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether there was a signal miss there or what, but she was nowhere near the ball. It was like a late decision from Sarah. Sister Rachel remained at first.
High for a ball, yeah. 325 on the season for a batting average, and I think we mentioned it every time that Sturt plays that she didn't start the season off very well, but gee, she's come on over the last 10 games or so.
Certainly has.
Another change up, ground ball to shortstop, and Chillingworth will play the lead runner at second, and Lucky for her, Ella Forrester didn't think she had a play at first because she just stood right in front of the fielder. First out. Leading teams replay. We see Tonkin make an adjustment covering the outside edge, and she's safely aboard from a fielder's choice. Belinda White, the new hitter.
Well, that one to Sarah was an off-pace pitch, and Sarah kept her hands back and just was only able to push it out to Chile at shortstop.
That one's pretty good, but low, says umpire Macaulay. So this off-speed, there's the leading team's replay. Pretty good fielding from Chillingworth. She stayed low on the ball and played the lead runner, so for a good out. Yeah, this off-speed pitching might be just the thing for these next two hitters, because anything that anyone has thrown at these next two batters in White and Cameron have been smashed this whole year. Belinda White, 10 extra base hits on the season. Yeah, there's a handful of players that have got 10 hits for the year.
That's right. You'll pay the penalty if you throw pace to these girls.
4-ball walk, so did not face a strike, and Belinda White, who's catching tonight, is aboard on first.
So there's one out. This is where I'd pass Maddie up right now. Fill the bases with one out. Get to Lauren Jury and Neve Adams.
First pitch,
that's
up the middle.
Reason why.
Tonkin turns first hard. Going to try to score. It is cut off by first base player Williams as she slides into second. Another hit for Maddie Cameron. Make it 20 on the season. Leading teams replay. Just bang up the middle. Just Neves playing centre field. Gets the throw in great, but no chance of making the out.
Well, that's why I mentioned it before Maddie batted. I'd pass her up. You can't take a chance of that happening. It happened.
15-game hitting streak for Maddie Cameron in her 16th game of the year. So terrible start to the year. She didn't get a hit in game one. Every game since, Lee.
Model of consistency. There it is, right there.
And with a 15-game hitting streak comes a 633 batting average and a 750 on-base average. Yes. We're 16 games into an A-grade season, Lee.
I think you'd sleep well of a night after that performance.
She's doing something right this year, and I mean, it's a shame there was no Gilly Shield, but maybe the player reaping the rewards of no Gilly Shield is Maddie Cameron.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's a very good point you've brought up.
Smashed it. Great backhand take from Chillingworth, who comes up firing for the out over at first base. Cameron holds up at second, but that great shot to shortstop from Lauren Jury scores Belinda White from third base.
I tell you what, that was a super play from the young Chillingworth, wasn't it?
Leading teams replay. 2 bounces on the backhand side. She was playing inside the line and able to make that out. What a great highlight.
Was hit hard, but Chile was up to it.
Belinda White scored the third run of the inning. There is 2 out, and Neve Adams is up to bat.
Another hard hit of the ball. It'll go up the middle with some pace if she hits it. She's come on, talking about people coming on. So has Neve, hasn't she?
Yeah.
Started a bit scratchy at shortstop, as you would in the A grade, your first time, but she's settled into the position.
Yeah, they stayed with her, and Belinda White was the shortstop in the team of the year last year.
Yep.
And they just put her across to first base and, and gave this young star of the game an opportunity, and they stuck with it, and she's still performing quite well. And when you're winning games, you keep winning games, it gives these young kids an opportunity to continue to get these opportunities.
That's right.
And she's taken full advantage of it. She's batting down a little bit further in the order than what she did at the beginning of the year. She's hitting about 200 on the season. So she's making her way into the team.
Right. And it just takes the pressure off a young player. Sturt, you've got to admire them. They don't throw their batting order around at all.
Change up, drilled to the left side, and just gets away from the backhand of Dolphin at left field, and Neve Adams with an RBI. Leading team to replay. She sat on the change up, pulled it to the left side. You're giving that a hit.
Yeah,
It was a good attempt.
Very good attempt. She's been in the action, Amelia, hasn't she, already? 2 times. 4 runs, though.
Indigo back to Silver is hitting in the 8th spot as the DP.
As the DP for the pitcher, Zali.
She's had played 5 games this year for 6 plate appearances. Got a couple of hits as well. Shot up the middle. Gee, this Sturt lineup's good. Oh, the players at the plate. Great play from Neves, and runner hasn't crossed the plate. There's a collision, Lee. I had my head up.
Yeah, there was, and
Hope she's okay. Let's have a look at the leading team's replay. We can see here that Indigo back to Silver crushes this one up the middle. Great swing, stayed on the ball. Neve Adams just out of screen as Neves eyes out the runner. Throw comes home and just a half hop, and Catuzzo landed. Gee,
yeah,
that looked uncomfortable.
Never like to see that, do you? We don't want to see our athletes hurt.
Yeah, both catcher and batter look hurt. Here's another angle. Gee,
Yeah.
there was an initial collision there around the knees of both players, and then
Emily's come across to try and get the ball, but then they've clashed physically.
they're helping her up. She must be okay. If there was any concerns of her back or neck, they would have left her there. Let's have a look at the slow-mo replay. Hit up the middle. Great shot from back to Silver. Great pick-up from Jess Neves. The throw, however, was just offline, and it half-hopped the catcher, who was preparing for contact. Did you see her there? She braced for it. Right at the last second, she braced for it, and
I'm a bit concerned the pitcher, Tash Strap, hasn't gone to a backup position on the ball hit to the outfield, but that's probably because she's not used to playing pitcher in this season too much. This is Jessie Keats, the number 9 hitter, James.
yeah, and Catuzzo catches that first one, so
That's a good sign.
let's hope she's okay, as well as Neve Adams, who
Neve,
crossed the plate for the 4th run.
5th run, isn't it?
5th run.
Yep.
Yep, Caruana. Tonkin was forced out on a fielder's choice.
Sarah scored, Bell scored.
After a single to centre field.
Yep.
Strikeout, swing on the foul tip. So Straps gets her first strikeout of the game, and a bit flat now, Lee, after that collision at the plate.
You don't like seeing that, mate.
It was tremendous commitment from both players to stay there to finish the play. Great angle here of the sun setting in the north. The diamond under lights, and the 2 teams preparing to go at it in the bottom half of the first inning. Recap of the first inning, Lee, was a drop fly ball, the first batter.
Yep.
A single RBI single from Tonkin. Sarah Tonkin hit into a fielder's choice. Belinda White with a 4-ball walk. Maddie Cameron with a first pitch singled to centre field that scored a run. Lauren Jury hit a hard shot to the short backhand of the shortstop, who made a terrific 6-3 play.
Yep.
Neve Adams came up with a single to left field. Indigo back to Silver, an RBI single to centre field.
That was motoring.
And it was the Sturt Falcons who put 5 on the board.
Batted through the lineup. Well, I might go around the field, James, in a minute with the Sturt Falcons when we're on.
Go for it, mate.
Battery, Zali Adams to Bell White. First base, Sarah Tonkin. We talked about Sarah playing there tonight. Her sister Rachel's at second. Third base, Jesse Keach. Neve Adams, we hope, is at shortstop. And then the outfield from left to right, Lauren Jury, Maddie Cameron, Ada Caruana. 2 people on the bench, Jordan Lee and Poppy Carmen. Nice to see Poppy getting the go up with the A-grade. I think this is her first go. Certainly her first go this year. Young player is a pitcher. No Millie Fidge, as we've said. I haven't seen her anyway.
She's a basketball player as well. Is she?
Oh,
She
yeah.
play basketball on Tuesday nights?
Yeah, but is the basketball on?
No.
No, neither do I.
Okay, Neve Adams.
Good question.
On the plate for the Sturt Falcons, Neve Adams, her sister at shortstop. So good to see that she's up and about. We'll watch her with interest as she's obviously recovering from that collision at the plate. Belinda White catching, and this is Jess Neves leading off for the Magpies. And hasn't she been a contributor for this Magpies team this year, hitting .306 with a .419 batting average?
Yeah, she certainly has, and she'll give you 110% every time she goes on the diamond like that.
Well, after giving up 5 early runs, the Magpies do need to get onto the board straight away so they can start chipping away at the lead.
Well, it'll be interesting if they go. They usually, when they have Millie available, they usually go best part of the game with the first pitcher, and then the other pitcher comes in and tidies up. I wonder whether it'll be Poppy Carmen getting the second or whether she's needed at all.
There's a change-up from Neve, and it came in a little higher than what they normally do when it's a change of pace.
Last week's game, she was pitching it really well, that change-up.
You can see Belinda White behind the plate just motioning to Zali to keep it down a little. And she is the champ on screen.
Well, how good is that for a young pitcher pitching to a person of the quality of Belle White?
Or to the backhand of Adams. Picks it up with a glove. Interesting. Perhaps if she went with the bare hand, she might have had a play, but always tough to recover from those. She did well to get a glove to it, and Jess Neves is aboard. We might just lean over to our scoring team. When it's hard back at the pitcher, and they fumble it, is it an error or a single? We might just get you to double check for us, mate, as Tash Straps now up to bat. We see Neves on first, and yeah, interesting that our scorers have counted that an error, as it wasn't straight back at her.
No, but it's
and it's the fastest reaction on the diamond as well when a ball gets laced straight back at you.
It's very subjective scoring, isn't it?
Pitchers get it all their own way anyway, so.
Spoken like a true catcher.
Tash Straps, ever reliable. She's .233 batting average, but her contribution runs a little deeper than that. She goes down swinging on this occasion, so great response from Adams after allowing the lead off on first. Interestingly, that they didn't try and advance her short game or anything.
Yep.
Chasing 5 though.
No, I think that's out of the question at the moment. This girl can hit a long ball at times.
Change up first up. So
Yeah,
Belinda and Emily were teammates at the 65th South Australian State Championships just a couple of weeks ago. So maybe she saw something worth remembering.
She can hit.
Gets after this one though and just goes foul. Well, Catuzzo has been a regular starter the last 3 games for Port Adelaide, but was playing in the lower grades before that. She's come on, hasn't she? She's hitting 500 with two of her, or both her hits have been extra base hits.
Yep. I'd be throwing change up. But who am I to question this catcher? Belle will know exactly what she needs.
That one's high and she fouls it off. Sarah Tonkin had her eye on it like she had a chance, and maybe it just bounced off the fence. But interesting, isn't it? Like, same as you, Lee. For all the years I've seen Sarah Tonkin play, I've never seen her play first base. So might have been a good opportunity to test her with some short games, see if she could handle it. High ball to pop up, and Rachel Tonkin called it early, takes a good catch, and that's the second out. That's good leadership from Tonkin, because Neve took that hit earlier.
Yeah.
She's been very capable and always seems to handle the fly balls, but, you know, don't leave it with any doubt. Let's cover her and help carry the load so she doesn't feel she has to do everything. So well done from Rachel.
So we come to their big hitting, what we'd call their big hitting. Chile, Charlize and Megan and Ella Forrester. All of them can hit. They'll need a couple here, I think. Big strike zone for Chile, isn't it? Tells against you when you're a tall person, I think.
We talked about her at the top of the show, hitting 378 on the season, which is special, isn't it?
Yep.
She's just 16 years of age and 14 hits on the year.
Had to come in to catch when Cara went down with the ACL, I believe, last week.
A strike swinging, just fumbled there from the catcher, but tags made straight away for the third out. So a couple of strikeouts for Zali Adams amongst a fly ball and a hard one hit back at Zali. So all over it there, Zali Adams, wasn't she? She got a couple of turns of bat last game they played, Lee.
Yeah, well, like most pitchers, I think they fancy themselves as hitters, and it's nice. I mean, you know, we talk about pitchers that can hit. None better than Steph Trzynski, the West Torrens pitcher. My word, she hits the ball hard.
Yo Grauer.
Yo.
Gabby Snyder. Katie Sutherland Finch. Chelsea Cohen. I'm running off a list of Kath Coral medalists right there, Lee.
And the girl that played for Seacombe, you remember her? Big girl, did her knee in the last game. What was her name?
Kim Reeder.
Yeah, Kim Reeder. She could hit the ball hard too. She used to bat for herself.
I don't think we saw the best of Kim Reeder, to be honest. And boy, could she swing a bat powerful. 110 k's an hour for once in a while, just blows it away for a little bit higher. Have a look at Ada Caruana. Cops one between the numbers and heads up to first base. So the leadoff on again for the Sturt Falcons.
It's not the person you want on base against you defensively, is it, Ada?
Stolen base attempt from Caruana, slides in safely. So always great to see the Jets in this game trying to take on the catchers. 7th stolen base of the year as well. Probably down for Caruana, to be honest, at this stage of the season. 15 games in. Missed a couple as well, but ground ball, third base. Great play from Callahan as she checks the runner. Throw wasn't that good. So Caruana's going to turn third. She's going to look to score. There's the backup that you wanted, Lee. And Rachel Tonkin across the third. So it's all going the way of the Falcons tonight as Callahan looked like she had a handle on it.
I think she was more concerned about the runner, about Ada, because she remained off the base. Ada, didn't she, a fair way? So she was testing Charlize's patience there.
First pitch pulled foul. So the aggressive Sturt Falcons this inning, I think we've only seen 3 pitches. It's all happening.
And that's what they're going to be doing. They're going to come out swinging.
make it 4 as we saw the leading team's replay of Ada Caruana stealing and sliding into second.
She's got very quick hands as a hitter, Sarah, hasn't she? She hits a lot of fouls down the left field line, short of third base most of the times. But when she does hit, she goes up the middle hard.
Even then, when she makes a 2-strike adjustment, she inches in towards the plate, and she's still actually able to pull the ball. So maybe we have a look at the stats lead. Don't want to give everything away for the opposition, but you know, how often does she go right side? As she's able to cover that edge again. Great pickup. The play is at home. Tonkin tagged out at the plate. So good aggressive running again from the Falcons. We saw Belinda White score from third on an infield grounder. Sarah Tonkin aboard from a second fielder's choice.
One out.
Smashes this into foul territory. Lee, it was half a metre from the top of the fence.
That's right. Hit it on the full. She did that the other day, didn't she, in Saturday's game?
Yeah, she is hitting the ball with power this year. Belinda White in great touch and great timing as well, as she's about to head off to the Traveller Josie Spirit Camp in preparation for Olympic trials, final Olympic trials. And hasn't she been made to wait? 2008 was the last time softball was at the Olympics. I think she made the Aussie senior women's team the next year.
Yep. Fantastic. Let's hope that goes ahead.
Big lead off from Tonkin. We'll see a pick-off attempt. And a 2-ball, 1-strike count, low for another ball. We saw Belinda White with a 4-ball walk, her first turn up at bat, and we're joined by Kathy Lambert, who was over at the Diamond 2 game. The first game of the evening was West Torrens. Oh, great, another great pickup at third base from Callahan. She picks this one up, clean as a whistle, gets the throw across this time. So it's a third play of the inning, actually third play in 3 batters. I was saying we welcome Kathy Lambert as we watch the leading team's replay. Gee, it's all happening here for you, Kathy.
That was a fantastic pickup by Charlize, wasn't it? Bell hit it so hard.
She's had 3 great pickups this inning.
Oh, fantastic.
As Maddie Cameron watches the first pitch. Well, we were talking about how good Maddie Cameron has been this year. 15-game hitting streak, 20 hits on the season, and it was the first pitch, so she watched the first one this time.
2 down, I'm walking her.
I was going to say, don't go too far away because she doesn't wait around. However, 14 walks on the season, 4 of them intentional, and just the 1 strikeout with a .750 on-base percentage.
That's impressive. Gee, she's having a good season, isn't she?
Pops this one up right side. Second base, first base, talking about it. Looked like there was some communication, but perhaps
Communication breakdown, you think?
So, Kathy, you've been across at the Diamond 2 game. It was West Torrens versus Hills. We're going to grab a bit of an update from you in the inning break. So, with 2 out here, we'll come to that score in a moment. Well, going after it hard. That was low and probably a ball, but as good batters do, Lee, protect the strike zone.
Yep. She wouldn't have had to worry about it if I was coaching against her, because she'd be up at first base now, just resting.
Kathy, Lee has mentioned Maddie Cameron 4 times in this broadcast. Every single time he said he's going to walk her.
And, oh, there she goes.
Well, she comes up with another shot. Great catch.
Nice
Good catch.
Jess Neves at centre field. She got a little bit airborne for that one.
She did, yeah.
So
Wow.
great take in the centre right field. That's Neves on screen, who completed that innings with a great catch. Here's the leading team's replay. Only 1 run on the board that inning for the Falcons as they go and stretch their lead 6 runs to 0. Now, Kathy.
Yeah, so let me give you a bit of a rundown on West Torrens and Hills. And so West Torrens came up winners, 5-0. Some nice batting in there by the West Torrens team, but Steph Trzynski, who was was pitching for the game, started off with a boomer. She had the first three batters in the first inning, which was the two Hood sisters, Georgia Amber, and followed by Georgia Ballard. So 3 K2s, and then I'll continue on with her. And then took the first two in the second inning, and then took a fly off of Abby Jorgensen. So she was responsible for the first 6 outs of the whole game, and she managed about another 6 or 7 K2s for the game. So she held West Torrens, and when we come back, I'll talk about where the runs came from.
Sounds like another dominant performance from Trzynski. Timeout called from Zali Adams before she could even fire a pitch in. Charlize Callahan is the hitter for Port Adelaide, and Kathy, it's been one-sided. So far, we're in the bottom of the second. Charlize Callahan's the 5th hitter in the order for Port Adelaide, and for Sturt, they've gone through to their 5th hitter a second time.
Wow.
6 runs to 0 for those watching at home.
I haven't been here calling for a while. Geez, Ali Adams looks like she's picked up the pace since
Bit of toe on that
year.
one, wasn't it?
Yeah, a lot quicker than the last time I was calling a Sturt game.
Callahan chops at this one and just out of reach of the diving Sarah Tonkin. Great effort. Yes, you heard it right. Sarah Tonkin playing first base tonight. No Millie Fidge.
I just had a double look at that.
Yeah.
I expected Belle or Millie, and when you said Sarah, I was, like I said, having a bit of a double take there. Nice effort.
If you can do ice skating, ice hockey, like the Tonkins can, you'd expect her to dive, and she did.
Yeah.
No ice, but and no catch.
For Port Adelaide, Kathy, you'll see it in the top of the next inning. There's no Grower pitching. And we also special mention to Cara Tilton, who has a knee injury that will probably see her out for the remainder of the season. So different looking lineup for Port Adelaide as well as the Falcons tonight.
And absolutely, that's a huge loss there. Battery, they've been doing so well all year. So even when Grower comes back, not sure who their backup catcher is for Port Adelaide, but yeah, definitely Cara and Johanna have been doing a great job all year together.
Callahan really digging in, isn't she? This turn it back, a few foul balls, and gone to a full count.
That's all you can ask. Chasing 6.
Okay, my second observation on Zali here, and I think I heard this mentioned the last time I watched a game that you guys were commentating, is she looks a lot taller as well. I know we talked about her and Millie not being too much different in size, but yeah, I think she's had a bit of a growth spurt over the last couple of months.
Patient turn-up batting then from Charlize.
Well, if she's had a late growth spurt, I wonder if Neve Adams will have a late growth spurt as well. She's already quite tall.
Yeah, she is.
Megan Williams, the new hitter, as Charlize Callahan gets aboard for a walk. So the Magpies have had 2 base runners tonight. Williams gets after this one. It's close to the foul line and will just track out of range for both the shortstop and the left fielder. Batting in the 6th spot.
Good swing and good bat in there previously by Charlize. She really hung in there and waited for a pitch and was rewarded for her patient efforts.
That's what it's about, isn't it? Patient batting.
Swing and a miss and a pick-off attempt from Belinda White over to first base.
That was a rocket. What an arm, and just so accurate.
For the first out of the second inning. 3rd strikeout of the game.
Here we see it again on the replay.
Now that's in slow motion. If that was in real time, it would be a blur. Ella Forrester now up to bat, who was getting bat to ball early in the season. I think she struggled to get a hit until about the game 10. She's already up to 5 hits and improving in the batting averages. Jessie Keach will play the lead runner, and Rachel Tonkin looks and thinks about a throw to first for a double. Fielder's choice in the scorebook. Great play from Jessie Keach. Let's watch her on the leading team's replay.
Yeah, nice play, and yeah, good to throw it off to there. Megan's fairly quick in the running stakes, so sorry, Ella. So it was good that she took it to second base.
Millie Dolphin batting 8. It's just her second game of the year. She's only had the one plate appearance as well, so a welcome return for the Magpies.
Yes, a young player. She was injured for a fair time, wasn't she? Prior to Christmas, a little bit after Christmas.
Good swing on the ball. It goes foul, so might take her a little bit of time to catch up to the pace of the season because, geez, we've had some outstanding performances throughout the year and just a young player, 16 years of age.
Yeah, and I don't think it'll take her too long. I put her in that little group. I know I always talk about the Port Adelaide Juniors and how exciting these girls are going to be. Well, they're exciting now, but they're just going to develop together, and that's your Taylor Chillingworth and Charlize and Ella Forrester and Amelia Dolphin, and so nice that they are growing together and learning together. And yeah, this will be a team to be reckoned with moving forward.
Adams really wanted that outside edge, and actually it was David Muggleton who pointed out to me that Zali's just slightly changed her pitching action. She doesn't go deep into her squat anymore as she prepares to pitch.
I can see that. You know, that's going to save a lot of energy. It does take a lot if you're pitching a lot of pitches in a game. You know, that movement, unnecessary movements, is going to take a toll on your energy levels. So there's no doubt this will keep her fresh throughout the whole game.
Shortstop into play. Neve Adams, she's got a good arm. It just goes wide of the glove of
Here's a run.
Rachel Tonkin.
Maybe not.
Ella Forrester turning third, but only a step off. So good backup from both the catcher and the right fielder. Let's look at the leading team's replay.
And that Neve Adams picks it up. She's just, well, she was obviously pressured to get a fast ball, a fast throw out, but yeah, it just made it really difficult for Sarah to pick that up.
Notice how far up the line Belle White was backing up then. And to her credit, Zali Adams came down and covered the home plate.
Yeah, and I think for any junior catchers that are out there watching, I mean, those are the little things that make the difference in a game. So don't ever think that little effort that you make to back up first, you know, is not important. You know, you should never think, oh, I won't worry about it this time. You should always be there just for situations like that.
Yeah. Well, here's a chance, big chance, isn't it? She makes it land somewhere, Michaela. Maybe 2 runs will score.
Yeah, Michaela Yankovic is the 9-hitter in the order for Port Adelaide and gets the ball into play to the right side. She's got to hustle because Ada Caruana will come up firing. A second run, tried to score. They've lost a runner at the plate. 1 run scores. So an RBI single from the 9-hitter for Port Adelaide to get off the mark, just out of reach for Tonkin.
Yeah, nice pickup by Ada, and exactly where she needed to throw it, and a good pickup by Belle.
Yes, it wasn't deep enough for the 2 runs to score, was it?
Not quite, and not on Ada's arm. She's too clever.
But they're on the board.
Yeah, great shot from Yankovic, and we've seen a couple of the angles of this leading team's replay. Adams disappointed she gave up a run, but how good is this play? We just missed it. We saw Forrester doing the right thing, telling the runner to slide, but she was out cold because Ada Caruana's throw was terrific. Guys, as we get more information from you, Kathy, but after 2 complete innings, it is a 6-run-to-1 lead to the Sturt Falcons. Okay, Kathy, Lauren Jury is the batter up to bat for the Falcons, but tell us a bit more about the game.
Yeah, so as I finished off by saying, Steph Trzynski in the 5.5, we had a 5.5 inning game. well, sorry, I should say 4.5. Halfway through the 5th inning, the game was finished. Steph ended up with 3 K2s. And our runs, the West Torrens runs came from Jordan Lambert was 2 for 2 with a single and a double. And Kara Schultz had 2 RBIs, popping her in a couple of times. Kelsey Nucky had an RBI and hit. Steph Trzynski had a hit with an RBI. One of those for Kara Schultz was a triple. And Kelsey had a double as well. So some good extra base hits on behalf of West Torrens with a couple of steals as well. So that helped these runs coming in. So yes, finished up with a 5-0 game. And 1 hit, which I believe was Georgia Hood, a safe fly to center for the Hills.
Well, Lee, we'll talk ladder in a moment as Neve Adams is up to bat now. Kathy, what you missed in the first inning was that Neve Adams tried to score on an indigo back to silver single up the middle, and there was a collision at the plate, and both catcher and batter were down for a couple of minutes, and looks like she's coming out swinging hard though.
Yeah, she's got over it. Young people tend to shrug off things, don't they? Which we're very pleased about.
Oh, that's good to know. You never want to see any. Oh, nice change-up. Never want to see any injuries in the game, and so it's good that they're able to keep playing, and hopefully are going to be okay.
Great spots from Tash Straps. She'd only thrown the 3 1/3 inning before tonight, so she will start to get into a bit of a groove because she's still only probably early mid-20s, but she's a veteran of the game. Adams gets underneath this one. Neves just had some work cut out for her there as she changed her mind to take it.
Yeah,
underhand, really, wasn't it? It was, what do you call that? It's a...
She was caught in 2 minds, I think. She made the ground well because it was only a little Texas leaguer.
Yeah, that's right. She definitely had a lot of ground to cover, and look, I think she should have backed herself because she would have easily made that with, catching it with a glove above her shoulder. So, it's just one of those things that happens at the last minute. You make a change of heart, and then unfortunately at that time it just didn't pay off.
Well, it's indigo back to silver, but I think if I'm leading 6-1, I'm not bunting. That's just me.
Yeah, there's a bit of a sportsmanship agreement, isn't there, in sport? But normally softball, it's when you're leading by 7, but you're not stealing or you're not bunting. So, after Port Adelaide scored that last run, you just never know what's going to happen in the game. And
sure.
So Falcons are sitting top for a reason, Lee. So
yeah, but in these first turn, the back cracked it up the middle, didn't she? At the centre field. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, great shot, and it was very impressive as well. Just drilled it up the middle.
Yeah, she's, I believe, from my recollection with her as an under 14.
That one bounced out of the glove of the pitcher, Taz Straps, and she's a little disappointed in herself because she would normally just be able to handle that one. Maybe she spent it before she had it. Let's have a look at the replay.
I think that was the case, wasn't it? She thought, yep.
I've got this. Yeah, and I'm sure Indy was originally a right-handed batter, so she picked up this left-handed, because she's a quick little sprinter, and she picked up the left-hand side batting quite a few years ago, and it obviously is working very well for her.
She's a good catcher.
Yeah.
Batting DP tonight.
Yeah, came through the ranks with Millie Fidge. Millie's often pitched to her in games.
Well, they're sticking with the short game. Megan Williams, great throw. We know her as a middle infielder, so always going to come up with a good arm and gets it across to first base for a sacrifice out. So that's the second out. 2 runners now in scoring position. Adams on third, Beck to Silver on second, and we're back to the leadoff, Ada Caruana. fly ball to left field, Amelia
First
Dolphin.
pitch.
Takes a good catch. Yeah, it was first pitch. And, well, Lee, take out that first inning and it's a 1-all ball game.
Yep.
But obviously they all count. So it's a 6-run-to-1 lead to the Falcons as we head into the bottom of the third. Now, thanks, Kathy. You brought us an update from the Diamond 2 game where West Torrens Eagles have had a win over the Hills Heat. Now, this is what it means in this competition for the ladder because it's so tight in the ladder and the standings. Before tonight, it is the Hills in second versus West Torrens in fourth. That win sees West Torrens move to second. Hills will drop down to third, and Port Adelaide, if they don't improve in this game, will drop to fourth. But the third game tonight is Seacombe versus Walkerville. Now, Seacombe are 1 win and 1 draw in the season, so if Walkerville win, as probably most would predict, they'll jump ahead and Port Adelaide will drop out of the 4.
Wow. That's how tight that the ladder is this year, isn't it? Apart from the 6 points that Sturt are ahead at the moment, from 2 to 5, it's incredibly close. Just changing by the week.
If you weren't able to keep up with that at home, you can keep up with the Premier League action as Jess Neves will lead off the bottom of the third inning with a single. So she's aboard for the second time tonight.
Yes, these games are being played tonight because we couldn't play them on Saturday because of the wet diamonds.
Yeah, we had rain pretty solidly throughout Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday morning, and the diamonds were just irreparable. So the bylaws suggest that they'll play the next Tuesday night. Available Tuesday is a sacrifice bunt from Tash Straps. Well executed. Zali Adams does the fielding and Rachel Tonkin completes the play at first for the first out, which sees Neves move across to second and in scoring position.
And Emily Catuzzo, I assume then she has picked up Ankara's position. So she had a bit of time off. Is this the first time we've seen her this season?
Yeah, we mentioned that a little earlier in the show. She's played the last 3 games, catching tonight. And she's even played the state championships as well. So hitting 500, both her hits that she's hit in the season, she's 2 from 4, have been extra base hits. So as Lee mentioned, hits with power.
Yeah. A handy replacement, isn't she?
Yes, she certainly is. And she can really hit a long ball. So this will be a good time to do one.
Swing and a miss. Now, this is the first of 4 broadcasts in this week. We've got Tuesday night action, as we just mentioned, is make-up games from the wet weekend. Tomorrow night, Premier League action returns. Wednesday night action, West Torrens versus Port Adelaide. And then as Catuzzo gets a piece of this, it goes out to centre right. It just falls short of both Cameron and Caruana as Neves advances to third, so a single to Catuzzo. And if it splits the gap of Cameron and Caruana, you know it was hit well.
Yep.
Absolutely. 2 quality outfielders out there, and you're right, it did have a bit of height, but was just perfectly split down the middle.
So what do they do here on the 1-3 split? James and Kathy?
Well, still chasing 5, you probably want to give your number 1 hitter in the season, which is Taylor Chillingworth, 14 hits on the year for this 16-year-old.
Wow. Free swing.
I'd give her a couple of pitches to hit this runner in and move the runner from first around. We know Catuzzo respectfully isn't known for his speed.
No.
And that's exactly what they've given her a green light, Chillingworth. And just to add to it, degree of difficulty of advancing that runner with Belinda White catching, just Chillingworth hits it hard enough to the shortstop. That's pretty close at the plate, at second base.
Yeah, I agree.
No call, safe is the call. So that's actually a pretty good call because Adams bobbled it but still made the right call to go to the lead runner, as you probably would have liked to see Catuzzo slide. The run will score from third. Let's have a look at the leading team's replay.
Yeah, I agree. Gee, how How composed is Neve to? Yeah, that's the
Great
right
call.
call. That's the right call. But how composed? I mean, she does a little bobble. She just picks it up. You know, okay, she might have been able to rush it in there a little bit quickly, but we got to keep remembering she's 15 or something. She's I'm really impressed with her composure in the game. Always have been.
Well, that slight bobble allowed Neves to score and cross the plate. 6-2 now in favour of the Falcons, but Port Adelaide have scored the last two runs of the game. While this timeout's going, we're going back and forth with this information. 4 broadcasts this week thanks to Spacequake Sports, the amazing team at Spacequake Sports. We've got tonight's make-up game, the slow-mo replay on screen. We've got tomorrow night Premier League action where you will see Port Adelaide versus West Torrens right here from 8 o'clock. On Friday night, for the first time, Premier League action. Points will be played in the Hills Heat home ground advantage at Anembo Park, Littlehampton or Mount Barker in the Adelaide Hills. And the Spacequake Sports Crew team are no strangers. They broadcast the Hills Men's Grand Final there a couple years ago. A lazy 35,000 views, I think, on the highlights package. Pop-up to the left side, an infield flyers called Jesse Keach will handle that.
First
Friday night, guys, Hills Heat versus Port Magpies, live from Mount Barker. It's a double-header that night because the Hills are showcasing men's softball yet again, the Hindhaugh Magpies versus the Macclesfield Redbacks. Couple of all-stars playing in that game, of course, in the men's competition. And then on Saturday, the inaugural Pride round for West Torrens Softball Club Day. And we'll touch on that in a moment as Williams gets after the first pitch
again.
Oh, that's impressive.
That is a great catch from Neve Adams. She had Maddie Cameron bearing down on the ball. Looked like she had it covered. And again, no regard to her own safety, as she showed a little earlier in the game. Gutsy effort from the young shortstop. She never took her eye off the ball. Let's watch the leading team's replay.
That is just so impressive.
She backs back to the left.
She flips.
Then she have to turn to the right.
And Maddie stayed out. She was there in case it came off. But first pitch, the last 2 batters with runners on first and second.
Well, I think Maddie Cameron might have a word to her young shortstop to say. You can leave it for me next time.
Hey, James, going back to your broadcasting, congratulations to you and Spacequake Sports and all the Adelaide Club competition in the Hills. This week is going to be a fantastic week for softball for so many reasons. And for those of you listening and watching out there, if you're softball fans, this is just a dream week for all of us. So get on board it and get behind it. And show your support by tuning in. Well, Ben Hook wrote in the Sunday Mail this week that we could probably boast a little more. It's not in our nature, really, but I don't think there's anything wrong with talking up your sport. And he said that we probably are the only state league competition that's televised in South Australia besides the SANFL. So well done to the Spacequake Sports crew, because this game is going to be broadcast live on SBS this Saturday on demand, of course. So it is live, but it's on the online platform SBS On Demand. So you've got to download the app. You search through Sport for softball, and you can watch the first and inaugural Pride round this Saturday. We brought you a special broadcast in November for NAIDOC Week, and that was our inaugural Indigenous celebration round, this time around for Pride. So great shot from Rachel Tonkin, her second hit of the game. She saves her best for TV games, doesn't she? We saw her in a couple of broadcasts ago where she got a couple of hits in a game, and that'll improve the batting averages, which the leading teams replayed the backhand diving side of Chillingworth. But for Pride Round, we're celebrating the LGBTI community. There's going to be rainbow themed. Fantastic.
We've purchased our own Pride flag, which will be flying proudly. The teams are going to be wearing rainbow themed uniforms, and this place is going to be alight with colour, as Sarah Tonkin puts that sacrifice bunt down perfectly. Rachel's going to score from first. Almost in a bit of trouble as she took off on the throw to second base. Sarah Tonkin, slight fumble from the shortstop. Taylor Chillingworth will see her safely to third. I don't get an opportunity to keep talking up this great celebration coming up this week as Sarah Tonkin gets a board from the wild throw.
Good effort by Ella, but yeah, just out of her reach of it there. Oh, that's a hard hit.
Hard hit from Belinda White. It's high, it's long, and just under it is Amelia Dolphin, who gets a big wind up for a throw into the cutoff. Sarah Tonkin easily scores from third, and Belinda White motors across to third.
She didn't slow down at any stage. She obviously had a really good awareness, as you would expect, of where that ball was by the time she got to second, and she just kept going.
Lee, can you get a message to the teams to wait a couple of pitches so we can talk more about what we've got coming up?
Well, I think we need a higher authority, mate. But we're looking forward to that, the Pride round. I have a shirt made especially for me, which I'm looking forward to wearing. Looked like she misjudged it a bit, the catch, Amelia, then. Might have been the light.
Cameron smashes this opposite field. It's a long ball to the fence. 1-2 bounces, and she turns second. She will stand up easily at third base for her second hit of the night. Maddie Cameron.
Yeah, same running around the bases. She knew exactly where she hit it, and she knew what she had in her to cover with the bases. So no hesitation. She just kept motoring along, and obviously that's one of the reasons she's at third base.
Kathy, did you say that Georgia Hood got a hit tonight?
Georgia Hood dropped one just in front of center. Yeah, I think the center fielders were playing quite deep, and she just dropped it short. Wow.
Lauren Jury goes first pitch as it goes deep to center, left field, over the head of Dolphin. So Cameron scores from third, and Jury this time stands up at second. What a response from the Falcons after Port Adelaide scored a run, put a whole heap of pressure on offensively, and Sturt Falcons did call their timeout. There's the leading team's replay of Lauren Jury's shot. Timeout's going to be called, so Coach Callahan will come out and have a bit of a chat to the team. Do you think there's another pitcher who's warmed up?
I think that could be changed now. Michaela, is it going to be Michaela?
Well, she's playing right field.
Well, she can still come in the pitch.
Megan Williams heads off the diamond probably to get a fielder's glove, and it is Michaela Yankovic from right field to come into pitch. And well, let's go back to what I was discussing before. If it was just the one hit for the game for Georgia Hood, who after tonight will lose the top spot on the batters list. She had 19 hits coming into this round, tied with Maddie Cameron. One hit will see her move to 20 hits for the season. No mean feat in 15 games.
And that's why you can't afford to let White and Cameron bat.
Well, Maddie Cameron, that was Georgia Hood who goes to 20 hits on the season. Yep. Maddie Cameron, who was on 19, tied with Georgia Hood's got 2 hits so far in the night to go to 21 hits. So she's leading all comers this season. So just a couple of recaps before, while Michaela Yankovic goes through her warm-up pitches, that live coverage and highlights of Softball SA Premier League action on the Softball SA Facebook page, YouTube channel and Instagram. Now, NITV is an SBS channel that brings you Indigenous stories and issues to Australian audiences nationwide. And you can catch the action 10 a.m. Sunday mornings on NITV, Channel 34, Fox 172 and SBS On Demand. Now, as I mentioned, you can catch the Pride Round live on SBS On Demand, first time. A live broadcast nationally of the South Australian Premier League. We were live previously on Channel 44, that grand final a couple of years back. Who will ever forget it? But that's all very special thanks to Softball SA, Space Quake Sports and NITV. Now, tonight, there has been a game already played. 7 o'clock game was West Torrens and Hills. And thanks to Kathy Lambert for bringing us an update for that earlier on in the call. We saw it was a West Torrens 5-0 win over Hills. As a result, West Torrens will jump from 4th to 2nd on the ladder. Hills will slide to 3rd. The other game tonight is Seacombe Tigers versus Walkerville Cats. So Port Adelaide looking for a good result because otherwise they will slip out of the 4. Walkerville could move up to 4th with a win over Seacombe. So then for the rest of the week, tomorrow night, Hills Heat versus Seacombe, Sturt Falcons versus Walkerville Cats, and the live stream game will be Port Magpies versus the West Torrens Eagles. As I take a breath as Neve Adams watches the first one through from Yankovic. This Friday, Hills Heat home game from Mount Barker in the Adelaide Hills. Port Adelaide is going up there to play. And then on Saturday, the Pride Round, Walkerville versus West Torrens, right here on Spacequake Sports. Now, Lee, earlier in the year, these two teams have faced 3 times. Sturt have won the last 2, 8-1 and 2-1. But the third game of the year, Yogrower was away and playing in Brisbane at the state championships there in Queensland. And Port Adelaide defeated Sturt Falcons 4-3. Pop-up, third base in foul territory, and a good catch taken from Callahan.
Yeah.
That game was pitched by Michaela Yankovic, so she's got a win against the Sturt Falcons.
Pitched very well that day. I saw that game. Very impressive.
Yeah,
Already on the board here now with the first out.
Exactly. She comes in with a lot of confidence. Obviously, a bit of a different pace to what they've been watching with Yo and with Tash. So, a good strategy. I think the timing of the change was good.
Well, the Falcons are up 9 runs to 2, so in the top of the 4th, we start to talk run rule as Indigo back to Silva hits a hard foul to the left side. Not a regular starter, Indigo back to Silva, but gee, she looks good tonight, doesn't she? She's had a couple of good hits. She looks likely to play short game if and when required, but she can hit it as well.
Yeah, she's definitely come in. She's doing her job. She's come in as a DP, and she's doing everything she needs to do. So she's taken to this role in her team very well.
Change up, sits on it, goes up
Just
the middle
like
for a second hit of the ball game for Indigo Beck de Silva. She's been on all 3 times. She scores Lauren Jury for a 10-run-to-2 lead. Now, run rule for those watching at home is if one team is winning by more than 7 runs after 5 complete innings, it goes down as a mercy rule win. So,
didn't she do a good job judging that change-up? She just held up on it, didn't she? Indigo, and put it right down the middle.
It was almost like she was expecting it.
Yep.
Now, Lee's just going through the changes, so we'll
There's
go.
been a few.
Yeah, there's been a few. So
defensively.
We'll go over to him in a moment as Michaela Yankovic is now pitching for the Magpies. Speak about young talent, Kathy. Here's one of them.
Yeah, Jessie Keach. Yeah, absolutely. Big tournament in the under 18s at the 2019. Oh, there's a big hit.
Smashes this deep centre field over the head of Neves. Geez, we've seen a couple of big hits in this innings as Chillingworth's got a play at third and a great relay. Neves, Chillingworth, Callahan.
That was an impressive relay. Gee, didn't they do a really good job at it? And Indigo's no slouch in the running stakes, so she was moving really quickly, but just a really good play, clean play all round.
Great play from the Port Adelaide defence, but a great shot as well from Jessie Keach. An 8.65 in the scorebook. Ada Caruana for a 4th turn at bat in the 4th inning. There's Jessie Keach on screen. She monstered it. There's a runner ahead of her, so she moves across to second base on the leading team's replay. Back to the live action to see Ada Caruana. So a couple of lefties in the order for Sturt Falcons tonight.
I'll give you the changes at the moment.
Yeah, it gives these left-hand batters give a little bit of versatility as well, don't they? 2 different strategies in the game, depending on who you're playing.
Defensive changes for Port this innings. Megan Williams has gone from first to left field. Tash Traps has gone from pitcher to first. Michaela's gone from right field to pitching. And then Amelia Dolphin's gone from left field to right field. That's all, folks.
So who's at left field? Megan's at left field.
Megan's at left field, yes. All right. Thank you to our official scorers, the well-known Julie Priest and the head of the scorers, Miss Lindy Radigan.
Caruana going deep in the count.
What a good player this girl is.
Correction, it's her third turn. Fourth turn.
Fourth turn, yes, it is.
Turn.
Yeah.
She gets herself a walk. So she's been aboard 3 of the 4 times. A deep fly ball to left field that was just a little misjudged, a hit by pitch. Another deep fly ball to left field, and then a base on balls. So she moves across to second base, actually, as that was a pass ball on the walk. And
still 2 down, and Rachel Tonkin's been on 3 out of 3 times. Every time somebody yells out pitch, it's always a ball. I always think if you're umpiring, you're plating, you just listen to the third base player or somebody like that. They'll give you the wrong call. They'll give you the correct call, so you do the opposite. Because, in my opinion, third base people aren't in the correct position to call balls and strikes.
not with a right-hand batter.
No.
There's a nice pitch in there by Michaela. That last one.
Thinks about it a lot, doesn't she, Michaela? Oh, a little off
That's
pacer.
a nice pitch.
Yeah.
Floats in probably a little high. It looked like it had the outside edge.
Yes, the Port Adelaide supporters in the stand thought it was a strike. Incorrect.
Ground ball back to the pitcher. There is 2 out, so she'll
Good
fire it
recovery.
across for the
Nice
third
play.
out. So good play from Michaela Yankovic. Now at the end of the 4th inning, Sturt have blown this one open. It's a 10-run-to-2 lead as we see the leading team's replays. Yankovic makes that 3rd out.
Yeah, and how are we going for time here? Oh, we've got a little bit of time.
Yeah, about 70 minutes in. We were going to start early, Kathy, or right on time, and then there was a 5-minute sun delay. So what we thought was going to be a quick start, it turned into a delayed start. But plenty of action, so stay tuned, stick around over the next coming week as Space Quake Sports will bring you 5 games of softball in 5 days. Thursday there won't be any games. Friday night there's a double header. And gee, aren't we excited? We're going to have some special guests helping us commentate in the hills. We've got some of their absolute superstars of the game helping with the commentary. Jared Farrell, Harry May, Nick Green, Reggie Fairley, Georgia Hood, just to name a few. So joining us at the commentary. So plenty of familiar names and faces.
Absolutely, and if you're not interested in the softball, James, just that lineup of commentaries would be an enjoyable night anyway. I'm sure they'll make it really fun.
Yeah, if you're having a dinner party, there's a couple on there that you'd invite.
Yeah, definitely. They all have some great stories to tell, some real characters. So I'm sure it's going to be an enjoyable evening up there in the hills on Friday night.
Then on Saturday for the Pride game, we're back to the A team.
We've got a special guest commentator as well. Mel McGee will join us in commentary, and one of my spies tells me she's been doing her research on the players, so very excited to be part of the action. And the reason why we brought Mel McGee in is because the Pride round is a bit her brainchild as well. She brought a proposal to the table, and everyone jumped at the opportunity to be part of it as well. So the walk for Ella Forrester, the message for Pride round is to educate, advocate and celebrate the cause. Plenty of people within the LGBTI community are interested in sport and wanting to be in sport, but that they might be discouraged to join a sport. Well, I can tell you now, in softball, we're so inclusive that we probably even never considered to do a pride round. But we're such a great sport to advocate the LGBTI community, and we welcome all comers, and it really doesn't matter to us. So come and play, and if you're interested, come and watch as well. So can't wait to have Mel at the table to help us with that message.
What an absolute legend who's going to be sitting here with the A team. I'll be in the stands, so I won't be side by side, but I'll be in the stands helping to call from that angle. But
Softball SA Hall of Famer.
Yeah,
she has played for the Travelodge Aussie Spirit. She went to Hawaii University, 4 years of college in the States, where she was an All-American one of those years, and great pedigree out of Hawaii for some Australians. Kai Parnaby and Stacey Porter and Brooke Wilkins and Mel McGee.
Yeah,
just to name a few.
Oh, and Mel is so respected in the Australian softball community, but absolutely so much so in the South Australian community. And she's always been giving back as a coach and a player and just a mentor, and does that through the state organisation, but also through the school sport organisation. So it's going to be a great opportunity to hear what she has to say.
Yeah. Certainly is, as Amelia Dolphin gets struck out. The following week, James, you haven't mentioned that, the 20th, there's somebody doing their apprenticeship here, I believe. The
big news, always breaking right here at the Softball SA commentary table, as Yankovic comes up to bat for her third plate appearance. Got a RBI single last time. We've got an apprentice commentator on the 20th. A few of the regulars are unavailable, as David Muggleton can hear us talking about him, Lee. We're going to have David Muggleton come join us. So
fantastic.
He was our first ever commentator of the Softball SA action back 5 years ago. And by his own admission, was fired very soon after.
Since then. No, I'm looking forward to working with him. Look at that.
Shot.
What a crack.
From Yankovic, the sound off the bat. Jeez, it sounded like it was going to be a great hit, and it was. It was just a little half hopper in front of Ada Caruana. So second hit of the ball game. Let's have a look at the leading team's replay.
That was so solid off the bat. That beautiful position.
Shot.
Both her hits to the right side. Yankovic, love to see a young player able to hit opposite field.
Yeah, most definitely.
Fantastic. She said to Ada, hunt leather. Here it comes.
Well, a little extra exertion from Zali Adams on that pitch. You heard in the effects microphone as we watch Yankovic again in the leading team's replay. Timeout called from Coach Justina Adams. Probably wants to go out there and have a bit of a word, settle her pitcher down, because that one came in a little harder. She dug a little bit deep, extra deep for it, and was just out of the strike zone. So just a timely timeout.
Yep.
What's the message here, guys? We're up by 8.
Yeah, up by 8. You got a big, strong. You got a strong team behind you. Probably a bit similar to some of the conversations we always talk about with the junior pitchers over the last couple of years with West Torrens. Just do what you need to do with the tailor-made, with the Izzy Benedictson, Maddie Scott when she started. Just do what you need to do. You've got a good, strong defense behind you, team behind you, and you don't have to do it all. So
all right. Well, no Millie Fidge tonight. No, she doesn't have to do it all, but she has to do the pitching. These two young stars of our game have thrown 77 innings between us. 33 innings from Adams, 44 from Fidge, as that's a change-up straight down the middle for first pitch to Neves. In a role reversal from what we saw last year, we saw Adams take the bulk of the load, but Adams has gone 5-0 this season. Millie Fidge 6-3, so a great record between the two of them. You'd say that Millie sits atop of the competition with the 6 wins, 3 losses, but if Zali can bring home this win tonight, she'll sit atop of the pitching tally in this Premier League competition, and they'll be 1 and 2 as this one's popped up to Neve Adams, second catch running back with the flight of the ball.
Yeah, very, very comfortable. Wow, I'm just so impressed the more I watch her tonight. She's just so comfortable there, isn't she? She doesn't look rattled. She doesn't look young. She just looks in control.
Yeah, it's playing all these games, isn't it, at this level?
And after taking a big hit as well.
Yep.
At the plate. Another change
That
up.
was a good pitch, wasn't it?
Yeah, you saw Adams almost turn her head like, I thought that was pretty good as Damien McCauley comes up with the strike call. So the delayed reaction, got a reaction from Zali Adams. High for a ball. Yeah, 5-0 for Adams on the season, throwing at 2.1 ERA. Millie Fidge 3.2. But Fidge is a strikeout pitcher. She's got 53 strikes on the season compared to Adams 21. So you got two different pitches.
Oh,
Gee, this one's gone wild. Does that count as a ball, or because they got the extra base? There was no play.
No, the ball. Just trying to keep her arm warm was catch a white then.
Yeah, 2 balls, 1 strike.
Yeah.
She really caught Jessie by surprise.
Yeah.
Lucky that wasn't straight at the body.
Yes,
Yeah, that's
yes,
right.
that
Because
would've
with
hurt.
Bell's arm, it'll put a hole in her.
And-
Yeah.
Oh,
Shot
good
from
hit.
Tash Straps. RBI single. Run crosses the plate. That's Ella Forrester. Tash Straps safe at first. Runners at the corners with Yankovic standing on third.
yeah, looking at that on replay. Beautiful. Just out of the reach of Jessie there, but did what she needed to do to get it in.
Well, Emily Cattuso's got a long shot already. Get greedy here, Emily, and get another one. It'll do your team very good. Stand them in good stead. Good call by Catcher White, then keep the ball down. Put it up, it's going to go deep.
That was a nice pitch. She disguises that changeup
Yeah.
very well.
She does, and it's an excellent pitch. Pitch with control.
Another change up. Jessie Keach fields this one and throws over to first for the third out. So 10 runs to 3. We're still in the run rule territory as we come to the 5th innings. Probably going to be the last inning anyway.
Yep.
As we're coming out to time. But, Port Adelaide have not gone away. I know the lead's 7 runs, okay? It's going to be tough to get back, particularly against Sturt, as they probably put some more runs on the board. The batting lineup has been so ultra-aggressive tonight, but they haven't gone away. They've brought the fight tonight after giving away an early lead.
Yep, certainly. Because a lot of teams would have just folded over for that first innings, but no.
Yeah, I love that fighting instinct. And, it's not over till it's over. And I know I've said it before, but every time you hit the diamond each inning, whether you're batting or fielding, you're learning something. You can practice something to be a better player the next time. So you win when you lose, and you learn when you lose, and you learn when you win. So I like the way these Port Adelaide players are approaching that.
All right, we might just double-check the scoreline. Our official scorers have given us 11.
Yep.
5
That's
in the
what I've
first,
got.
1 in the second, and 5 in the fourth.
Yep.
So 11-3 to the Falcons. So, Lee, you're just pointing out the number of hits that the Falcons got last inning?
No, I'm pointing out that in that innings they had 5 runs, not 4 runs. That's
Okay.
all. That's all, mate.
Yeah, 5 runs, and they had 6 hits and a walk in that inning as well. So, they went through the batting lineup and
Confirmed by the official scorers, and I've mentioned them before, and if they say that's right, then I'm going with that.
we love watching any team hit with the aggression that the Falcons have hit with tonight. They've gone early in the count. They haven't stuck around. They've really been aggressive, hitting a long ball. And here's one of the batters, 3-hitter in their lineup, who's made some good connection with the ball tonight, but failed to register a hit. I think, Lee, just looking over your shoulder, she's the only Sturt Falcons player without one.
Yep.
Couple of fielder's choices and an error. So,
but important position to bat at 3, isn't it, James, in our sport?
Yeah, absolutely.
Probably one of your better, consistent batters.
Normally, you would put your best hitter at 3.
Yep.
The Falcons tried and true lineup. They've crafted their lineup pretty well, and they've stuck with it the entire season. So, you know, they hit Belinda White, Travelodge Aussie Spirit vice captain, at 4, and then Travelodge Aussie Spirit player Maddie Cameron at 5. But
you could swap those two.
Yeah, absolutely. But you could probably slot them in anywhere in the top 3 or 4. But yeah, it's a good lineup. It's a solid lineup, and they are so dangerous as well. They're generally scoring a run against you.
Yeah, and the consistency of Caruana and then the 2 Tongan sisters ahead of Belle and Maddie, makes a difference because they're very, very consistent getting on base. So then you've got the extra base hitters of Belinda White and Maddie, and there's always a guarantee of runs, additional runs being scored.
That's what I don't mess with their lineup. No reason to.
That had a bit of pace on it. So just got a couple of different speeds coming in, Michaela. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's one of the weapons in any pitcher's arsenal, isn't it? Is the change of pace and variation. As Belinda White digs out a low ball and drops it in front of Neves at centre field for another hit. So make that 2 hits and a walk on the night for Belinda White.
It was a very low pitch, wasn't it? I thought maybe replace the bat with a shovel, but no, not necessary. She just tracks the ball, doesn't she, Belle?
Yeah.
She knows where it is. Here comes the fence hitter. This probably is going to go over the fence, my prediction.
Well, known for your predictions, Lee. All 3 of her hits have gone to centre field tonight. First pitch. Ground ball to shortstop, and a great play from Chillingworth. And yeah, good call there, Kathy, as well. It was the pick-up from Tash Straps that finished the plate. There she is on screen.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking at this in the leading team's replay. But that backhand pickup from, good job for Taylor staying in control. But yeah, nice little backhand take there for Tash to make sure that they get that out.
Good result for the Magpies, wasn't it?
Yeah. Cameron, we mentioned it a little earlier tonight. She's the best hitter in the competition at the moment. A plus 600 batting average, a 750 on base average. Another 2 hits tonight.
Nice to see she's only human like the rest of us. Sometimes.
Lauren Jury smoked one her last turn at bat. It went to the fence and continues her aggressive night. She's helping the Softball SA office out this season as a university placement student.
Oh, okay.
Fantastic. Yeah, I remember Lauren in her Glenelg days as a good hitter.
Oh, got her.
Line drive to centre field.
But where's the pitcher?
Is going to score a run as the ball gets away from second. It was a good take from the cutoff Tash Strap. She just noticed that the runner turning second, Belinda White, took an extra step off the base. And let's have a look at the leading team's replay. A catch from Neves. She throws it in, misses second base. Cutoff, who was trailing. Good play from Straps, but she threw it. Probably not a play, but gets away and White take an extra base. Courtesy runner comes in. That's Lauren Jury moving across to third base to run for Belinda White. Now, Jordan Lee is coming into the game. for Neve Adams. Interestingly here, Lee, maybe showing the effects of that collision from earlier in the game.
I think why push the envelope. Jury in that turnabout the jury was out, and now she's back in running for Bell White. So
yeah, it was a nice solid hit from Lauren, wasn't it? I mean, it went straight to Jess, but
line drive. Yep.
It's a nice solid piece.
Well, that one will help Jordan Lee as she's been in and out the lineup the last few games. We'd know as a regular starter, and you see a pitch low, you don't have to go for it. But she won't go wondering you, Jordan Lee. She's got a very good swing on her. High for a ball.
Yeah, we usually see her in left field for Sturt. That's been her usual position, but like you said, James has been in and out a little bit the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, and those that have watched the softball action here on Space Coach Sports, she rocks this one up the middle. Forrester has to break to her backhand side, and Lee stumbles at first as the ball goes wild. She'll stand up at second. So an RBI from Jordan Lee. And good to see as well. I was just saying that those who have been watching the Spacequake Sports and the softball action will know Jordan has played for our representative sides under 23. She was very important the last time they went up to Brisbane. Trials coming up soon for the under 23 Women's League.
Yep.
And she played throughout her juniors as well in the state team program. So great to see Jordan Lee on base scoring a run, and gee, that lead's already jumped out to 10. So 13-3, top of the fifth. Indigo back to silver.
She's been impressive, hasn't she, with the hit with the stick tonight. Batting as the DP.
Batting as the DP in the 8th spot. She's been on 3 for 3 times with 2 hits, both up the middle.
Yep.
Fouls this one off. Very impressive.
Confident young player, isn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, and watch Jordan Lee as if Indy gets a piece of this, you'll watch Jordan Lee. She'll be wanting to try and get to home from any hit.
Terrific night for softball. I think it was about 30 degrees today. It's going to get up to about 37 by Thursday, I think, as that one floated through high. So not sure who was asking for that one to be a called strike. 2-2 the count.
The pitcher and catcher, I believe, are the two culprits.
High, just out of reach of the pitcher.
Tricky,
Chillingworth
real tricky.
Left it behind, the plays at the plate. So Jordan Lee was sent home, I think. And so that's probably an error to the shortstop. Let's have a look at the leading team's replay. Might be generous. Let's have a look at that. Just floated over the top of Yankovic's glove. Chillingworth come in and
just not getting low enough. The knees weren't quite bent, but
tricky.
Good recovery.
Good
recovery, but it's always going to be tricky, that play, because there's no pace on the ball that was hit.
Can't understand why Jordan Lee went there, but on to home as Beck De Silva gets aboard.
Yeah, I probably would have. Look, you're 12-3 up. I probably would have done. I might have, as a coach, might have done the same thing if she was called to go home. The only reason being is, why not put the other team under pressure? See what happens with them under pressure. What are their nerves like when they're in a, pressure situation? So it's something just to watch out for and keep an eye on, for a bit of scouting for future games or finals time.
Well, change has been made. Let's get a picture. The camera on the picture, we can see that Neve Adams has come out of the game. No, Neve Adams has come back into the game to shortstop, re-entered after Jordan Lee pinch hit. That is Poppy Carmen. Correct me if I'm wrong, Lee. Is she making her A-grade debut tonight?
Good luck to her.
Poppy Carmen.
Fantastic.
We've seen her play in the fully loaded competitions over the last couple of years. Part of the junior state program, under 16 team last year. Would have been under 16 still this year, I think, as well, so. Lee. And I cannot see her on the stat sheet. So let's call it A-grade debut for this young lady, Poppy Carmen.
Definitely is. Definitely is.
Love to see that. And I love to see opportunities given to these youngsters. So, all the best to her.
Good luck. Well, she's got to face some batting here with Callaghan, Williams and Forrester.
Starting off with Chillingworth.
That was a great start.
Yep.
One smashes into the glove hard of Belinda White.
Yeah.
If you're making your A-grade debut and you had to pick a catcher, who would you pick?
Maybe Bell White. Whoa, that's a good start.
Another youngster, Taylor Chillingworth, says, welcome to the Premier League, Poppy Carmen, and she laces out a single. So well done to Chillingworth. Her great hitting this season continues. Now, Poppy will settle. All young pitchers will cop it from time to time. So no worries there as this one gets away from the catcher, Belinda White, and Chillingworth moves across to second. Doesn't dare to take on the arm of Belinda White, although it went all the way over to the third base dugout. Runner on second.
There's a little tiny bit between fearless and reckless. And if Bell White's in the vicinity, I'm not being reckless. Hopefully.
Pretty close, but a ball called. Kathy, can you remember your A-grade debut?
Oh, James, now you're really pushing it.
You were a catcher. You were a pitcher.
I was a shortstop, pitcher, third base. All three of those. Circulated between those three. I played for East Torrens and West Torrens in my time before I moved out into the country, and then I played for the Gawler League. But yeah, a couple of state teams. I played shortstop predominantly, and then in my second one I was more of a pitcher, third base.
So do you remember your first A-grade game?
I actually don't.
No, no doubt there's some nerves, and that was the point that I was trying to make. So maybe one to forget, Kathy.
Yeah, I'm sure there were nerves.
Well, a good battle against Callaghan as she picks herself a walk. 2 runners aboard here in the bottom of the 5th, and Carmen's still looking for her first out. Now, we know it's going to come. This is a game where you see more outs than hits, so, it's not going to be too far away as Megan Williams, a veteran in this team, is up to bat. Club captain.
I'm going to put her down with a safe hit here. She's too good a batter to be not getting on tonight, and she hasn't as yet, but this is the time.
Oh, so a different change of pace. So I was just thinking before that Poppy's got a nice bit of pace about her pitch for someone so young, and then we just saw a little change of pace as well there. So she's got a couple of little tricks up her sleeve.
Kathy Raha, for those searching through the history books.
I did see her play. She was a very good player, Kathy.
Oh, thanks,
she
Lee.
just puts herself down. You mustn't put yourself down. You're sitting at the wrong desk for that.
Very kind. Yeah, no, it was a great. I loved my years in softball, and came across.
Williams with their hit.
As predicted.
As the runner turns third, scores the 4th run for the Magpies. So Williams with a hit. Did it hit the third base? As we watch the leading teams replay along the line, hits the base and into foul territory. Good angle here of that. Good aggressive batting from Williams. Now runners are back at first and second.
Ella can hit the ball hard too at times.
Yeah, she can. We've seen her on some of these Wednesday night games. Really.
That was saying put a motor on it.
Well, it was Belinda White has really shown some support there from Carmen and said great pitch. So obviously she called a change up on that one, Lee.
Yep.
Another change up.
Yeah. Caught Ella reaching again then. Patient batting here. Just get a pitch that you like. One of the pitches will have your name on it, Ella.
Well, I'm sure Belinda White won't be calling anything near the zone here.
That's a great pitch.
Maybe not in this innings, though, Ella.
Look at the smile on her face. How good is that?
Yeah.
And a congratulation over from one of the team leaders there, Sarah Tonkin, comes over to say well done to Poppy. Look at the relief on her face. She can come out the game now. She's got her first out, and it's a strikeout.
That was brilliant. So well placed.
So great calling from Belinda White. She really made the batter work and got her chasing an outside pitch. So well done to Poppy. Really catches another edge there, this time on the inside as Amelia Dolphin up to bat. Got the first out that they're after. Is 1 run so far in the inning, 2 runners on base as this one pops up to the left side and infield fly is called, but Jessie Keach makes sure of it.
Yeah, it looked like it jammed her up a little bit. She kind of got it low on the back.
Yep.
So another good out by Poppy, 2 for 2 here. These last 2.
Well, it's the pitch of the pitcher, Michaela Yankovic.
Fouls this one off, so Yankovic has been my pick of the Port Adelaide hitters. Although they've had put in a good performance, Yankovic is 2 from 2 from her 2 plate appearances. Both hits to the right side, and that last one, I can still remember the sound, that crack of the bat. This one bounces by.
Was as good as a hit of the night, wasn't it, for Port? That was a beautiful hit.
And look, I don't profess to be a batting expert, but she looks like she's got some good mechanics with her swing. It looks like a really nice swing.
Full credit to the Magpies. They've kept at it, haven't they? Kept swinging.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Port Adelaide down to their last strike with 2 outs, 2 runners aboard, and they're trailing by 9. The Falcons, gee, they've put an exclamation mark on this game. And a strikeout.
Commentator's curse.
As Poppy Carmen ices the game for the Falcons.
Yeah, look at the smile on her face. How good is that? That's excellent.
Remember that face and that name, because should either of the Port young stars move on, whether it's college or to other things in life, this young lady is in the wings for the Sturt Falcons. A great smile and a great way to end the game. Well done to Poppy and to the Sturt Falcons as they run out winners 13-4 in a clash that sort of promised a big matchup, because it was first place Sturt Falcons versus third place Port Adelaide. And if other results don't go their way, could see Port Adelaide slip out of the 4.
Yeah, exactly. And then I guess the next couple of games are going to really let us know that, aren't they? Because tomorrow night Port Adelaide have West Torrens, and on Saturday, who do they have on Saturday?
It's the Hills Heat on Friday night.
Friday night, sorry, yes. So they've got some tough games ahead of them this week. So yeah, it's going to be. They're going to have to work really hard to make sure that they don't drop too far out of that. If they do.
With West Torrens coming into tonight tied on 16 points with Port Adelaide. They had a win against Hills Heat, so they go up to 18 points. Hills Heat stay on 17, so West Torrens jump from 4th to 2nd. And if Walkerville get over Seacombe Tigers, Port Adelaide will drop from 3rd to 5th. So, Lee, we do talk about the leading team's player of the games. Tell us who your picks are, mate.
Well, it's hard, isn't it? It's very hard tonight. Been a lot of heavy batting from the Sturt side.
Yeah, Rachel Tonkin 2 hits, Maddie Cameron 2 hits, some big ones. Belle White 2 hits, so plenty of hits shared.
You could probably toss a...
What about Indigo back to Silver? 4 turns at bat for a DP. She got on all 4 times. She had a couple of RBIs. She had a couple of hits up the middle. I think Indigo back to Silver probably deserves a good mention. Let's not go past Sally Adams.
No, exactly. I think you've named probably the best 4. For Port, you already mentioned her, Michaela Yankovic, had to come in and do some relief pitching and batted twice for 2 safe hits. The last one we've mentioned, crack of the bat. A few others got a single hit, but not enough really to. And Sturt just keep marching on, don't they?
Complete game from the complete team. Kathy, big week of softball action. It's Tuesday night and we're bringing you Premier League action. We'll be back tomorrow night. It's Port Adelaide versus West Torrens. We'll be back Thursday night for a special doubleheader from the Friday night for a special Hills Heat doubleheader as men's softball from the Hills will be broadcast at 6 p.m. Friday night, and then the Hills Heat in the Premier League game against Port Adelaide on Friday night. So 3 games in a row for Port. And then on this Saturday, it is Pride Round. We see Walkerville taking on West Torrens. So we'll be bringing you all of that action over the next 5 days, or 4 more days after tonight. And that is all very special thanks to Softball SA and Spacequake Sports. We cannot bring you that without our broadcast partners, and they are CBS, Leading Teams, MC Sportswear, NK Services SA, Bob Burns Blinds, and Evright.com. Now, closing comments, Lee, as we say goodnight.
Well, it's that sort of season, isn't it, really? Teams change. They're up at second position one week and down at fourth the next week. And conversely, West Torrens just keep nibbling away. Danger team, in my opinion. I can see it being West Torrens and Sturt, of course. Hills a chance, but I think those 2 teams.
Well, Lee,
it's a big call from a long way out.
You're known for your big predictions. Kathy, we're going to see you tomorrow night on the broadcast.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it. It's going to be a good game. And look, like we said before, clear your calendars all week, guys. There's a lot of great softball action, and, it's sure not to disappoint.
All right. Well, thanks, everyone, for joining us. The 3rd game just underway tonight, Walkerville versus Seacombe, and Walkerville had the early lead at 1-0, but that will wrap it up for Tuesday night. First of 5 games this week right here on Spacequake Sports. We'll see you tomorrow night.
Good evening, everyone.
Signing out.